Kia ora, Lara here, and day 12 is all about the cut files. I have taken part of a cut file created by Confessions of a Paper Addict. So Virginia put this together. It came with a really cool wee Viewmaster, but I just sort of wanted the reel in this one just to show kind of the different colours or the different views that we might get as we start the Copeland track. So the photo is of sort of the archway or the entrance into this track that I'm doing the 8.5/11 album about. So over this this sort of 31 days or 30 days for Scraptember, I am working on documenting trips that we have done on the Copeland track over the years, and most of the photos are from a trip that we did in December last year. So yeah, so I'm putting this together, and each day, if you haven't been watching my other ones, I am doing a different photo in this 8.5/11 album, and I am following along with the prompts for Scraptember 2022. So this viewfinder piece here, I've just cut a whole lot of little bits of scrap paper that I thought looked kind of cool with cool colours into little, I think it was less than 3/4 of an inch sort of squares, and now I am gluing them onto the little holes in that Viewmaster reel that goes in, that would normally go in a Viewmaster. So I'm just keeping it quite simple with the paper colours behind it and a really simple cut file. Yeah, so that's sort of the way it is. So I've gone ahead and carried on backing all of those off camera, and now I am working on sort of changing the colour of the background of this layout a little bit, and found this gorgeous yellow that I think really helped the photo stand out, and showed also a great way to show off the different colours on the viewfinder. So I'm just going to attach that to my 8.5/11 white daisy cardstock. And that just gives a little bit of a different colour background. So most of the time for these layouts I have been working on just the white daisy background, and it does keep things nice and simple. It means that I'm not having to overcomplicate what I am doing. So just working out where I'm going to position this cut file that I've gone ahead and backed the little pieces of. You'll notice that I didn't back those bottom four because I recognise that the photo is going to sit over them, so I didn't need to spend that time going over it all. So just going to back the photo with another piece of scrap white daisy cardstock. So these scrap strips are from when I cut down the backing paper to 8.5/11, and just using some scissors just to generally trim off and make it kind of even around the edge there. So now I am going to back the photo with a few different layers of pattern paper, and I'm using the Flower Shop collection here. I love this piece of paper. You may have seen me fussy cut it in one of the other layouts that I did. If not, you can pop back and have a look. I can't even remember which day that exactly was, but yeah, loving this Flower Shop colour, and the yellow in the background there is from that same collection too, I believe. So just trying to choose a few different colours that might have worked as well, and sort of trying not to cut into a full piece or a new piece of that, and just trying to select some different papers that'll work behind it. Now this sort of plus paper or little crosses was from an older mix-in pack. I've used this quite a bit. I actually really loved that mix-in collection. It had lots of blacks and whites and some really simple patterns that I've been able to use in lots of different things. So just mounting that with a little bit of foam tape, because I'm sticking it over a cut file, it just needs a little bit something that'll help even out the different layers, so that it's just not sitting flat and then my tongue's getting tired, not sticking in parts. So yeah, and now just crinkling up the edges around the photo to help that lift. Now I'm also adding in some little floral print and cuts that I did. So on the Cricut, I have used some of the Close to My Heart digital files, and I've just flattened these, and then I've sent them to print and cut. So then it sends it to my printer, and then I stick them on the Cricut mat and put them through the Cricut, and the Cricut cuts around them. Really love these little way of doing little die cut embellishments. It's kind of fun because I can choose the size and change things around a little bit. But I'd printed quite a few off, or print and cutted. That's really bad English. It must be the end of a school week. Printed and cut quite a few of them off before a scrapbook day down in Invercargill about 6 weeks ago, I think. So I have these here, and I've just been digging in and trying to find out different ways to use them. When you go to scrap days and you don't have your printer, it's sort of like, right, what might I use? And then sometimes there's leftovers. So I'm going to use this black chipboard kind of alpha by Close to My Heart. These are a really good alpha set. It's quite a nice font. It is not super expensive. And yeah, they seem to be doing really well. So I am just I am putting the word start as my title because it's the very start of the Copeland track. And this will probably go somewhere quite near the front of my album. I'm looking at doing a cover page at some point, like a lead-in, and there'll probably be some pages in this album that are more writing than photography. So the first time I went on the Copeland track, and I do have a photo, I think, from that trip that I'll be bringing in at some point, was way back in it must have been 1998. So about Easter 1998, when it was just before my husband and I sort of started dating. So he did go on the trip, and we had another friend with us as well. We just went as a group of friends from uni, and had a great trip away up to the hot pools. We did book in for 2 nights up there just because we knew that after that walk we were going to want to enjoy them. We went again later that year, and then this last year, so in December last year we went, and then in my husband went again in May, but it didn't end so well, but I'll bring that in a little bit later on. So I've done this a few times. You'll just notice I went around and poked some holes through there for some stitching, and I've gone around and stitched the edge, and now I'm just adding in some of these gorgeous little acrylic dots around this, just to add another nice wee texture, and then just wrinkling around the edges around that stitching as well. So just about coming to the end. I've enjoyed putting this layout together. It was quite colourful and bright and interesting, even though this photo was kind of a bit of a dark, it wasn't a great shot, but it works. Hey, thanks for watching. Check the playlist below for all the other Scraptember layouts, and if you've enjoyed this, I really hope that you'll subscribe so that you can see what else I'm getting up to. Hey, thanks again for watching.